Y'all know what time it is. It's time for It's Casual with Casey Gale on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome to another episode of Those Casual Reds. A little bit of big news. From now on, we're going to be on this style of platform instead of in the studio. And then today we're going to be talking about some Man United transfer news, or their lack of the transfer news in January. Mikey, what do you got to say about the transfer and the way the new system is?
Off the books, getting cash off the books. We've lessened our wage bill substantially now. It'll get even more reduced come summertime.
Yep.
And yeah, all in all, bro, can't really complain. I mean, we wanted some more people in, but it's hard to do this kind of business in January. Unless your city, you got a lot of money, or Villa has a lot of money to spend on loans to see, and they have like European football and whatnot. So all in all, it's what was expected. I can't be too mad about it. I just don't like that we don't have the reinforcements now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A lot of things that I've been reading, and I'll kind of go over of why Man United are not signing anyone in January, and kind of why we were getting the money out. Jeremy, what's your kind of take on the January transfer window?
I'm a little disappointed. I was looking forward to our Luka moment, to our Luka and AD type of transfer, but I forgot. I'm following the wrong sport and the wrong type of owners over here.
Wrong city.
So, I mean, exactly. So, I mean, all in all, like Mikey said, it's to what be expected. We don't have the money. We don't have the players to be able. We're not in a position to have that power to be able to negotiate with the heavier hand. I mean, it's lackluster. It is what it is, and it looks like they're going more so towards the long haul in summer rather than the January transfer window.
Yeah, it does. And Ronaldo, what's your kind of take on things?
A dose of reality, I guess. Just a reminder of our financial position and the trouble we're going through, and the players that we can't move because of the rotten deals that we haven't signed up for. So yeah, a little dose of reality, but one good positive is we finally have a left wing back, and don't want to put pressure on the kid. He's only 20, but hopefully he comes and hits the ground running, integrates well, integrates quick, and improves the squad a little bit, because God knows we need it. We're struggling. We're in the mud.
Yeah.
The only loan deal that I'm not happy about is 𝗕𝗁𝙍𝙍. I feel like we should have kept them, just because we just lost 𝗕𝗊.
I know we just lost 𝗕𝗊,
Yeah.
but the reason for letting him go is because we signed Heaven, who is, I know he's only 18, but he is a left-sided defenseman, which kind of covers 𝗕𝗊 a little bit more. And then with, I know, injury-prone Luke Shaw coming back, there is cover on that left wing back side. Even if Luke Shaw does go down injured again, I know it's not great, with the fact that our wing backs are not getting forward, but at least there's cover there defensively to the end of the season. And that's the kind of what I'm hearing is the reason for letting 𝗕𝗁𝙍𝙍 go. That, and to be fair, he hasn't exactly been great since he came back. One of the things I wanted to touch on real quick, and then I'll ask your opinions on this, is Mikey, I think you touched on it earlier on thing, is the reason why, according to sources, is that United didn't sign anyone is because they wanted to get everyone off their wage book. If Casemiro had gone, people are saying that it would have been a perfect window regarding out. You're looking at over $500,000 a week off the wage book, with the players that are gone out on loan. yes, that doesn't seem like a lot, but we're looking at Rashford plays well, probably going to go for about 40 million. We're getting $25 million in for Jadon Sancho. We'll probably get around 10 for 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀 if he plays decently, maybe a little less. So that's kind of coupled with what we will have in the summer window. Coupled with that, that's why they're not signing anyone now, and they're just saying, figure out the rest of the season, get rid of you figure out who you need to get rid of, and we'll fill the gaps in the summertime. Mikey, how do you feel about that?
I mean, that sounds pretty logical.
Yeah.
If Casemiro is one of the most paid players on the team, so
Yeah.
you get rid of him, but it's also like we're getting rid of guys and not bringing guys in. So it's like, yeah, you got rid of them, and now it's less. And it's like we got these other kids that's coming in that are unproven. So it's like it's cool, but like I've never seen Aiden having played in my life.
Yeah.
You know, I agree that we should have kept 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀 at least for the body. You know, he's played at least, and none of these guys have been great. Dalot hasn't been great.
No, he hasn't.
Dalot hasn't been great. Maz hasn't been great. 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀, you throw him in the lump too. He hasn't been great either. But you know, you have the manpower at that point. We'll be driving this kid in to just play. I don't know. I get what Ineos is trying to do, and this was a bad window, but also it's to be expected, right? I didn't expect that we would even get one in. To get rid of all these people is fine for the future, but we have 14 games, like Cheese said, 14 games left for Prem survival, and then the next FA Cup matches. As far as we go in Europa, it's going to be we still got a lot of games, maybe 20, 25 odd games left to play, and no reinforcements. We're going to have to dig into the youth and see what's going on there. That's what concerns me.
Yeah,
we're
Jeremy,
one injury crisis away.
We are. You know, with the fact that Martinez is out until January by the looks of it, at least. And that's if he ever comes back the same after that injury, because a lot of players don't. Jeremy, what's your kind of take on that kind of talk and, you know, maybe having more money in this summer to spend instead of January?
It's depressing to see how the other half lives now, and that looks like that's us now, Manchester United. We used to relish being top of the league, being able to have the money, the cachet. Not just that, the name Manchester United meant something more so to people that never really played for Manchester United or lived or were fans of it. So now we're kind of seeing how the other half lives, and it's very disappointing and depressing for Amorim to, I mean, pretty much for the board to say, Amorim, this is who you have, deal with it, and try to get us in the Champions League, try to get something out of it, win Europa, win the FA. It's a very big uphill battle for Amorim and for this team. And like Mikey said earlier, we're going to rely a lot on the youth, and that is, I mean, that can be good and bad. I mean, we're going to see a lot of growing pains. We're seeing it with Euro. We're going to see it with this new guy here. We've seen it already with Rasmus and 𝙈𝙀𝙀 as well. So I mean, the future hopefully is bright, but at this moment, it's going to be a lot of growing pains.
Yeah, Ronaldo, what's your take on things?
We're in the mud. We're gonna struggle. Really hope that these guys hit the ground running, and yeah, we're gonna have to lean on the youth. Mainoo and Ahmad and Garnacho. They're the youth as well. And Garnacho ain't 20 yet, right? And we're gonna have to deal with their inconsistency, and the learning curve, especially with this new system. And we know the Prem's not easy because from 1 to 20 we getting waxed, and Europa is gonna be tough too, especially if we face who we have lined up, maybe Galatasaray or Real Sociedad next round.
Yeah.
Once they win their games, more than likely going to play either one of those. That's going to be a tough run, kid. So there's no guarantee. I want to say maybe the FA Cup might be our best bet. We have Leicester. They're with us in the relegation scrap, but I feel like we should beat that team. And however the balls bounce, that's whoever we play in the fifth round might be a tough team. But either way, these guys have to get their form. They have to get their heads together. I feel like February might be a nice month.
Yeah.
We have games like, spread out like 5 days per game. So a little more training time, a little more breathing room to, recuperate and everything. And hopefully we get a few more numbers back in the form of Shaw and Mount. And so besides bodies and having them there, you just have to hope they find some kind of form and just deliver. These guys could play. They just need to do it more often than they're doing it.
Yeah, and I think the February time is going to have a lot more training available for him rather than in between games. For me, I personally think Europa is a little more the area that I think we can win rather than the FA Cup. I know kind of turn up against big teams. I don't see us beating Liverpool. I don't, and I know we beat Arsenal already, but I don't see us beating Liverpool. But with that being said, if we turn up against a big team in Europe and knock one of them out in the next round or two, you know, then we'll probably, you know, get to the final against Tottenham, which is the most daunting task for me because we haven't beat Tottenham in a while. Along with Brighton and Palace and everybody else that we haven't beaten in a while. Bournemouth, yeah. But yeah, for me, I kind of like what they were doing in January. Mikey, I was pissed on when we didn't sign anyone the other day. But the more I go look into it, it's kind of bringing up 𝗕𝗓𝙍𝙀, giving these youth players an opportunity as long as we stay off of relegation, which I just don't get relegated. I think it's a great opportunity for some of the youth to have a go and show what they're made of. And then in the summertime, be able to really dive deep into who you want to get rid of because there's a lot of players leaving. Casemiro's probably going to go. Eriksen's gone. Evans is gone. A couple of other players that are gone in the summer. And then earlier I forgot, you know, if Anthony keeps playing like this, there's probably another 40 million for Anthony right now from the Real Sociedad.
I don't know, man.
Dude, like man of the match in his first game, but you know these teams in Spain, dude. If he plays well over there, United can ask for 40 million for him.
We would get 30 for him if we're lucky.
Hey,
and
I'll take
that. Man of the match was straight bats. You know, this just to kick us far down.
Yeah, I don't even know why you got man of the match.
Dude,
I watched his highlights; they were horrendous. Mikey, is there kind of want to move on to a little bit for the summer? Is there anyone important for you for United to bring in? Anyone that you think would be the first person on the team sheet?
First, I'm still on the Teo Hernandez train. I get him in as soon as possible. He's proven could play. He could play both right and left and fast. He is a little bit on the older side now from when I was first asking for him. If we could do the deal for 𝗕𝙗, that'd be good. But I don't want to spend more than 60 million for him. I think, I know he's gonna want 60 million and up. There's gonna be a lot of teams in for him, and that is what will bolster the price. Was everybody being in for him at the same time? But honestly, I'm not really thinking about the summer right now. I'm really just thinking about trying to survive the rest of the season. If we can make it through the season and not being 16th, then I think that's a dub. You know.
This goes for all of you. Do you think a season without Europe would be a good thing for Man United?
Good thing as far as training, but bad as far as money. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think a season without Europe. Now, if we can win the Europa League, brilliant. Puts us in the Champions League, though I am pretty sure we are far, far away from being anywhere. I think we'd finish in the bottom half of the Champions League right now. Just some comments, and let me rephrase this. Comments from Cheese, because they're all from Cheese. With no reinforcement, relegation looming. Wonder Kid, Obi training with first team. Save us from relegation. United go, Anthony. Are you getting ready for the summer in the Prem or the Championship? And 3 points off 16th. Jeez. Man.
I think we're lucky this season because the bottom three is just so bad.
Yeah.
They're so bad. Like they can't get a win. They can't notch a win anywhere. And that helps us out. It's not one of those years like I want to say like 11, 12, where like the last three teams were fighting, the last six places were fighting for it all the way till the end of the season.
That's
It's
the
one of
year
those
Leeds
where like
went
the
down.
last 3 is just very bad,
Mm-hmm.
and like they're doing enough to keep everybody else up.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago when Leeds went down. It was Leeds, Everton. Everton starved off relegation on the last day of the season. So yeah, that was like 6-7 teams fighting for relegation there. Anything else you guys want to talk about, Mikey?
No, I mean I just know that
Let's talk about the game.
Amirim got it wrong
Yeah.
on the weekend.
He did.
He got it wrong on the weekend, and I think that's okay to say. But I do like that he's trying things, right? He's not rigid like how Ten Hag was. It would seem like Ten Hag was just so afraid to get something wrong, but he ended up getting it wrong just because, right?
Yeah.
He's trying things, and he started with that false 9 from Mainu. I didn't think that was a good idea, especially after we just seen him have a good performance in the 10. You go and put him in a false 9 after that, and then he's like, it worked for like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It literally worked for 15 minutes, and then after that, Gáhi and Munoz and all them men like that, they were like, all right, we know what we're gonna do for this, and they were resolute at the back. I was saying how bad their defense is. I think we need to sign Mark Gáhi. I know he probably signed. I think he might have signed a new deal there. He needs to come to United. That guy needs to come to United with Licha down. That's who I sign. I go after and give him money because that guy is good.
Yeah,
they didn't look worried. They didn't look worried the entire. Like, yeah, we had a lot of chances to do things, but they were resolute at the back. I got to give them a shout. They were prepared for us. So yeah, Amirim got it wrong, and I know the Amirim murmurs are getting loud.
Yeah, especially on Reddit, dude. There's so much stuff going on Reddit right now with the Amirim.
Reddit, man, Reddit is toxic.
Yeah,
but
dude,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Sean. Just quickly about the game as well, not to interrupt you.
No, go.
I mean, we need wing backs. We need proper wing backs because the low end Mazraoui are not going to be able to cut it in the system that Amirim wants. Granted, it looks like they were kind of being a little bit more so inverted. It looks for the first few minutes, and the width we were getting it from, right, Garnacho and Ahmad. But it just shows that we need proper wing backs and we need a proper striker, because I get it. He's trying different things with getting Kabi up there at the false 9. For the first 10 minutes, it looked good. It looked promising. But after that, it looks like if they figured it out, and the Crystal Palace just looked organized. Yeah, it looks like we had chances, but not many on target. It just looked like they stayed composed, organized, and just they were able to bag those 2 goals, man.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not correct, that Rasmus Højlund hasn't scored in over 26 games, I think it was, in the Premier League.
20 goals a season.
Yeah.
Man's a cup piece.
He's got a 20-goal drought, if that
He likes the European lights. For some reason, likes them more.
Yeah, he'll score there. Yeah,
he'll win us.
He'll score a winner in the final when we play Tottenham. Watch.
Yeah. Ronaldo, what was your kind of take on the game?
It was a little depressing, man. A lot of possession, a lot of it sterile. Like you said, we looked like we had something going with Mainu in the 9, and then 10, 15 minutes later, it just all petered out, and just a bunch of half chances, recycling the ball, not confident, not penetrative enough, and Palace had their chances. And as Mark was saying during the game when we were chopping it up, he's like, they're gonna get 1 or 2 chances and they're gonna bury us. And so said, so done. As soon as I saw Eze on the sideline, I was like, God damn it.
I think
and as soon as he gets the ball the first time, he just dances through our whole midfield.
Yeah, I was praying for Bruno not to follow him in the box. So like, please don't follow. Because I think he tried like 3 times to take a bite to get in the ball and nothing. As they just came in there and ran the show, took the mick on us. And yeah, another set piece, man. Jeez. Yeah, so soft on those set pieces. What was that? I mean, and we can't fault Onana on any of the goals. That set piece is just, I think Euro got burnt on the initial header. He just like mistimed the jump really badly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Licha got hurt. So it was Euro and Maguire playing together. And just no communication. And yeah, they caught us on a raid and the guys got burnt. clear.
They got ran at.
Yep.
Like for that second goal, it literally just run down the channel and they went right past Lenny Euro and Maguire. No conversation there to say step up as the pass is coming up, goes in, that's it. And it was just like that's it. I don't know.
Who would you put that more on, Mikey? Because it looked like Euro was trying to get that offside, get the Crystal Palace
Ozersi lost the
offside.
ball stupidly.
Yeah, that was the one that started it off. That
He comes in and loses the ball immediately.
Both our strikers came in and were
and that put us in
dog shit.
Yeah, that put us in a bad position from once he lost. Sometimes with these kind of goals, especially like that goal, you're already in a bad place and you cannot afford to lose the ball. Like keeping possession is the difference between you giving up a goal or a chance or whatever the case is. And we just lost it in a bad time. The channels were wide open. We're playing that 3 flat. It wasn't like guys were back and then you can come back. It was like 3 flat, 2 open channels. They just ran through.
Yeah, it did not look good at all. And that's what I'm kind of hoping with February, less games, more, it looks like more of the old style where we don't have many games. It looks like they have more time to train and more time to work on these corner issues, because they for as tall as our defenders are, we shouldn't be, or our players, in fact, we shouldn't be getting beat.
They're so bad in the air.
Yeah.
Lenny Euro is terrible in the air.
Yeah. He is. It's not good. But with Martinez being out, we don't want to rush Luke Shaw back. Would you guys go with the back 5 of Lenny Euro, Harry Maguire, and De Ligt on the right?
Sure.
Where would you guys play Lenny Euro?
I think I'll play him on the left. That might be his best position. They said Maguire could play on the left, but I'd rather him central. And I think De Ligt is more comfortable on the right, so I'd rather that. And the good thing about Dogo coming in is we don't have to suffer with Maz and Delo on the left side. We might have to suffer a little bit with the Delo on the right side. And Maz could be really good cover on that RCB. So that's one good thing about getting Dogo in.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
Would you guys have Maz at the left DB though?
I'm sure he could do
on
that.
The left.
Yeah, he could play. He could play either side.
Anywhere on the back line.
And sure, he could only play 1 game a week and maybe 90 minutes. I'll probably start off with 60 once he passes a fitness test.
10 minutes.
I'll give him an hour and quick hook, keep him fresh. He's got
the minute he goes down, bro. The minute he goes down, turn in that transfer request, man.
I got a question from Rajat for everybody. Will they sell 𝙈𝙀 or Højlund this summer if they have to pick one?
You sell Højlund.
Whoa.
Højlund?
Højlund instead of 𝙈𝙀.
I'd sell 𝙈𝙀.
Is it because of the value? We'll get more value?
I'm sorry. What did you say? My bad.
Is it because we'll get more value out of Højlund?
1, because Højlund's on 73 M's. And then 2, 𝙈𝙀 has a place in, he has more promise for the system that's trying to be run, right? As far as giving the ball away. I mean, not giving the ball away. He does give the ball away. But as far as distributing the ball, I feel like he could do more. I think there's more upside for him there. And he's shown that, as opposed to Højlund. The simple things he's getting wrong. He's getting the simple things to just keep the ball is an issue, right? I think I don't want both of them to leave. I would like to see them, stay here and figure it out, because we pay good, bro. It's $100 and something million.
Yeah,
$100 million for these 2 guys. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see them figure it out and us be proved wrong. But if you ask me, I get rid of Højlund only because we used to think Lukaku had a bad touch. This worse. That's much
more control. It's like a clear,
and then it's not goals either. Yeah, you're not
Jeremy, who are you picking?
I was gonna say let go of 𝙈𝙀 and keep Rasmus and let him flourish here, but I hear what you're saying too, Mikey. I just really hope and pray Rasmus can figure it out and put all the skill sets that are because he's big, he's tall, he's fast, he's strong. Yep. I want all that to just be packaged together to get a proper striker out of him.
Yeah. You know what I think would be good for Rasmus Højlund? 6 months champion. I'm
Send
not
him out on
joking. I'm
loan.
not joking, man. Like, look what he
I,
did for
I,
Ahmed
I'm
down there.
laughing because I kind of like it.
I hear what you're saying.
Look what he did for
Yeah.
Ahmed down at Sunderland.
Yeah.
I think Højlund would. I would keep 𝙍𝙀, and I'd loan out Højlund. Get him some playing time. Get him to maybe learn somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because selling him right now, you're going to lose a lot of money.
Yep.
But if you can loan him out, get some game time, or even if he stays and sits behind a new striker, and it looks like we probably are going to go for the Sporting right wing back in the summer.
Yeah, Kenda. Yep.
So that's that for me. You got two
very good thing.
Yeah, because then you got the two wing backs that you want to play. It looks like Ahmed preferred position for Amram is a 10, not the wing back position. So if you got the two wing backs, I think that's a good deal to go with.
I would go 𝙍𝙀 because I think we won't take a loss on 𝙍𝙀. The Serie A is clamoring for 𝙍𝙀. We just
That's
didn't want to
true.
sell
Yeah.
him. You 𝗕ago Motta was his former coach at Bologna.
Yeah.
He wants 𝙍𝙀. He would love 𝙍𝙀. They don't want Vlahovic. He was calling for 𝙍𝙀. That surprises me, but I think if we could get back that 40 mil for 𝙍𝙀, do it. Not because I think he's worse than Højlund, just because we won't incur a loss.
Yeah.
And like you said, maybe we have a
Fair.
proper development plan for Højlund. Bring in 𝗕𝙗 or Osimhen, let him learn there, or send him to the championship. Let him figure out how to post up properly on these defenders. Pick better runs in the channels. Try to develop a more delicate touch. Actually control the ball.
Other than the wing back position, what wing back and striker? Is there anywhere else that you guys would look to kind of shore up? I know maybe centre back.
Back up for Menu.
Yeah, because it looks like for me
for
he wants to put
Ugarte.
me. He wants to put.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Get us another midfielder.
I
that
like
can-
Collier though. You don't think
Collier's
Collier's good
good.
cover
I
for
don't think
Ugarte?
he's ready yet as a full starter.
No, he's cover for Ugarte.
Yeah.
No, no.
I think he does a good job.
Oh, he does
but
an excellent job.
It's
Yeah.
a project. I think it's a project with him, right? If we're talking about a guy that's ready now to come in and play like how to give us the same amount of intensity that Ugarte gives us, then I'm gonna go for I would go for the midfield. I think we're good everywhere else. To be honest, we might need to
Quote unquote good.
Yeah. We need to start like a lot of these guys. Like Bruno's getting older. He's 30. We need to start looking into investing into who's gonna be that next guy to take Bruno's spot, and not wait till Bruno's gone.
No, absolutely. For me right now, I would drop Bruno back and put Menu in the 10. That would be my preferred position right now. Let kind of Ugarte clear up midfield, and then once he's cleared it up, then you got Bruno in front to kind of dictate the pace of where the ball's going to. What do you guys think of that?
As he's getting older, that might be the best bet.
Yeah, because Rooney, Rooney did it. He kind of dropped back.
Yeah.
A lot of players have dropped back in their time.
I'm just afraid that he's not as fast as we kind of need him. If we get
to be able to get back.
To get back and help Ugarte, that's my only problem with it. But as far as like conducting play, it makes sense. He doesn't have to run and gun. He could just take a few strides, read the defense, and pick the right pass.
Whoa, that's pre-show talk. But you kind of read my mind there, Sean. I was thinking the same. Since Manu likes to play a little bit more up top, just kind of switch him up with Bruno. Let Bruno kind of just take a step back, be more so that playmaker, that deep midfielder as a playmaker, and just let Manu kind of maneuver his way in between the defenders, a little bit more up front, dribble and create. Because we saw that at the game, right? In the beginning, it looked like he was looking good. I think he just needs more time to play up there to be able to be more consistent, so we can see a little bit more out of Kobbie Mainoo up there.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, as of right now, till the end of the season, until we can get a right wing back, me, Ahmed has to play right wing. I know he's not going to, but I just feel like now that we've got a left wing back who can get full, who's fast, who's physical. I'm not saying he's going to be a star right off the bat, but at least he's going to offer something different because the Premier League they're not used to him right now. So at least for a couple of games, before they figure him out like they did Anthony. We're going to have something going down the left. On the right, we've got Ahmed. And then that allows, who else would you play in the 10 position next to Mainu?
Ericsson,
You play Ericsson?
or maybe as a super sub. You
Ericsson
can't
would
run.
probably
You
say
can't
more
run
super.
90 minutes,
Yeah.
but at least we can't play Ahmad every game, man. We're gonna burn him out. And guys, if Ahmad gets hurt, our season is truly fucked.
Mhm.
It's
If
over.
Bruno gets hurt,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ahmad and
We're
Bruno,
in
if any of them
big
get
trouble.
hurt,
Yeah,
we
we're
are
in
done.
Bruno gets
trouble.
hurt, I would worry that we get relegated. I would seriously worry.
Depending
we get
where, right?
relegated.
We're 10 points clear. I mean,
Are we 10 points clear, or are we?
Yeah, we're 10
10 points clear,
2
17
points?
place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I learned this the other day, and you guys can go check it out too. You can average 1 point every goal scored, not your goal average, but every goal you scored. You go look at the league table right now. You look at the points for every goal scored. It's actually kind of fascinating how that works. We've scored exactly the same amount of goals as we do points right now. Liverpool are only like 2 off. Arsenal are like 4 off. It's kind of crazy how. So that's what's worrying me. It's if we're not scoring goals, where are the points coming from? So do you guys honestly believe Rasmus can turn this around before the end of the season and at least get 6-7 goals?
Probably 5. But you have to play them. I think you have to play these guys. Try to get some kind of rhythm, man. I maybe benching them on Sunday was just a show of force from Amarim to the boy, like, hey, yo, do something.
Wake up.
Get me somebody.
Yeah.
Because what's worrying to me is we let go of Rashford because of the so-called I'm not seeing it in training, right? What's he seeing with Rasmus Højlund in training, but that he's not seeing in the game? Because what I'm seeing in the game, it can't be any worse than what he was seeing from Rashford in training, to be honest with you. So that's worrying to me. If you're going to say Rashford's not performing well in training, and Rasmus Højlund is, but Rasmus Højlund isn't doing it on the field, whereas at least you'd have more of a goal threat from Rashford, and that's concerning to me that you're seeing that. Jeremy, what's your kind of take on Rasmus Højlund? Do you think it's gone now? Do you think his mentality's just gone and he'll want to move on in the summer?
You're muted. I can't hear him.
Why we do that? Jeremy, not Jeremy, Ronaldo, do you want to take that question?
Striker is a confidence position for sure. So, I mean, as much as you want him to try to get in there and get some rhythm, you don't want a guy mentally shot out there just, shooting bricks. And back to the Rashford point, I don't think it's a matter of performing badly in training. It's a matter of effort and mentality. And maybe Rashford was just checked out, not there. Rashford's poor soul was probably trying his best, but nothing was coming off,
Yeah. It is concerning the amount of goals. I believe between the two of them, they have 4 goals in the Premier League this year.
They're just too young to be leading this line.
No, I agree.
From whole new situations, and I don't know what we thought they would be doing at this point. But they also, to be fair, to give context, because people love saying they don't get service, all right? So they also don't get any help. Rasmus doesn't, right? He doesn't get any help. He has to go and sniff out the goals, but it's also like he's not doing the extra part that you need to do as a striker to affect games. Because I was telling Glenn a long time ago, I said, banging goals in is the primary function of a striker, but there's 1,000 other things you can be doing to affect the game that people aren't going to see, that your teammates will be thanking you for, right? We've seen those kind of strikers in the past. They do 1 or 2 things really well. So, yeah, I don't think he's out of it. I don't like to count anybody out of it, right? I think he's still once you have breath, you have a chance.
Yeah.
So, hopefully he could turn around. I don't think but I just knew he wasn't going to score no fucking 20 goals.
Now, with the new left wing back coming in, we know he can cross pretty decently. From the highlights I've seen, his crosses look really decent. Do you think that we'll be able to help Rasmus in this situation? Jeremy, you try and say hi.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
Did you hear the question?
Can you repeat it?
Yeah. With Doku coming in, his crosses look pretty decent. From what I've seen online, he's able to get back. Do you think, with not just him and what we've seen recently about with the balls coming into the box, do you think this is going to help Rasmus Højlund?
I'm optimistic, man. I hope it works. I haven't seen Doku play in real time, so all we can go based off on the highlights and the reports we see. So I'm optimistic, cautiously, of course, because he hasn't done it in the Premier League. This is a different type of beast he's gonna go into.
Yeah.
I'm just hopeful that does help Rasmus kind of pick up and start scoring goals, because that's his main objective, not to be fighting dudes, arm wrestling dudes, and falling on the ground, but more so just putting that ball on that net. So I hope there's some type of chemistry they're able to build, and that is able to carry off also into the rest of the team, so we can see more goals scored. Because you mentioned it earlier, it's very bleak to see where our goals are coming from, and for the fact that Lissandra has more goals than Rasmus, that should never be the case from a defender. But yet here we are. So I do hope that that brings a little bit more stability to Rasmus, and he starts letting in more goals.
Yeah, it's kind of something I'm looking forward to a little bit with Luke Shaw coming back. If we can get a run of game, is his crossing.
You don't want him running.
You're absolutely right, dude.
I don't think I want to run him, man.
I don't want him or Mason Mount running for the rest of the season. But Luke Shaw's ability to get down the wing and put that ball in, I think it's something we've missed, and I really do think it's something Marcus Rashford has missed for a long time. Is having that connection with someone on the left, because I think they were really good together, especially when it was the front three, and Luke Shaw would do the overlap for him, which would take the player away. I'm hoping we can get back to that with Dogu, being able to go down and drag a player out, which will allow one of our 10s to be more one-on-one rather than a one-on-2 situation, because we know our wing-backs just don't get past the halfway line half the time. Jeremy, what's your hope for the next month? What's your hope?
My hope is that we get no more injuries. We're able to get Rasmus a little bit more service with the likes of Doku that's going to come in, and we're able to build some type of foundation more so with 𝙈𝙊𝙍, now that we're not going to be playing so many games. So we see a little bit more of that structure that he's trying to build, because now he's not going to be playing every 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my hope. No injuries, more goals for Rasmus, and I don't think we're going to get relegated. That's just me.
Mikey, what's your hope for next month?
I would like to win every game. Like, I would like to win it. Best hope, but minor hope. Like, the little thing I can hope for is just like Jeremy said, no injuries. Please, nobody get hurt. To see Martinez get stretchered off like that it's heartbreaking. We know how much that guy means to the team, and I don't think we can stomach any more of those things. We just don't have the manpower for it. So if I can say anything, it'd be no injury.
Ronaldo, what do you?
No injury, first and foremost, and for our back three to get a little more coordinated and organized, set those offside traps, and for our new wingbacks, I want to call Dilo a new wingback because I don't see him playing on the left anymore. He might be on the right where he's a little more comfortable, and just them pushing forward, and they'll help the 10s, and of course they'll help the strikers. And it's not just Rasmus. I think 𝙊𝙀 will benefit as well, with some proper wingbacks, advancing the line, supporting the 10s, getting them closer to the penalty box so they could facilitate the strikers a little more. Because besides crosses, like why the hell can't we just string a 1-2s together, some kind of passing combos to just unlock a defense or just tee up some balls at the top of the box so like Bruno or the strikers could fire in. Mino was a really good shot off off the D of the box. Yeah.
That's something I
Yeah.
kind of. It's something I picked up on the other day. I'm glad you said that with stringing the passes together. I was watching the Liverpool game because, like you all, I just love watching football.
Exactly.
I was watching Liverpool and I watched the City game as well as bad as City are playing. If you watch them when they pass the ball, it is smooth on the floor. It's not overhit. Have you noticed that with Manchester United? These schoolboy errors of hitting the ball, a 5-yard pass, and that ball just pings off the other player's left. They just can't control it.
Yes.
Mikey, have you noticed this too?
I mean, that's been Man United for the last 6 years, like 7 years.
Yeah.
I was telling Mark Berry this because Mark Berry was under the impression it's like, well, Maz is not a wingback. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with the fact that he just passed the ball to a man. He just passed the ball to somebody that was under pressure for no reason. He didn't have to. And it's like, well, it's just going to go backwards. Pass it backwards then. We're so caught up in today's game about going forward, right? Sometimes the ball needs to go back. Sometimes you need to reset, okay? I don't care if it goes sideways sometimes. That's what we do. That's what we do. But to lose it, the way we lose the ball, careless. And we'll pass two passes together, then run out of impetus real quick, run out of ideas. And that's just who we are. And that's why I think it's a quality issue. I think Amram has had enough time to drill these guys on what he wants them to do in certain situations. And also it's a quality issue with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys haven't played in this kind of system before, not used to the demands that Amram's asking. And that's just a recipe for disaster at that point.
Okay, quick question, quick comment from Cheese again.
Good Lord.
Spurs, Everton, Ipswich, Arsenal, Leicester, Forest, City, Newcastle, Wolves, Bournemouth, Brentford, West Ham, Chelsea, Villa. We're getting relegated.
Cheese is gonna sing that tune the
Cheese.
whole season.
The fact that you're so confident that we are getting relegated, I want you to put a $40 bet that we get relegated.
There you go.
Go ahead. Just put that $40 bet.
It's
gonna pay out pretty darn well. I'll tell you that.
Gonna get 40 points.
I have a question for you guys. I have like 2 questions, but so when is Luke Shaw scheduled to come back?
He's back in training already.
When and if he comes and plays, would you ease him in to play the left center back role instead of the left wing back? Because we see the left wing back role is much more physically demanding.
Yeah,
I think that's where his.
Solve?
My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Would that solve our center back issue, putting him as a left center back?
Yeah, my fault, bro. I think that's where his career needs to be, is in the center back position now. At least, from time to time, we could ask him to do it. He seems to do a good job of it in the back four or in the back five. He could play. He could do the job there. I think he's a great defender in general.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
100%.
betting is illegal in California.
Use a VPN. I'll put the
here at 1878 Fan Zone, we don't promote crime of any sort.
Can I send you the 48 and send it to me? I'll put it on for you. But yeah, to answer your question, I think that's a great position for him. Obviously he's not going to get ahead of Dogu. And there's a strong possibility for me that he leaves in the summer.
Wow.
I just don't see Man United or Amram wanting to keep him unless he can string a bunch of games together and get injured again in the summertime where we can't sell him. But yeah, I think he goes in the summertime. But as of right now, the left centre back cover is a great position. And for once, we're actually kind of stacked with pretty decent centre back. The fact that we're playing with a back three, Lenny Euro, You got Maz. You got Below that can play right centre back. You know, we got Heaven coming in to take over maybe the FA Cup games. Because it looks like he's going straight on the bench. Luke Shaw, and you know, so it looks like we're, you know, that's an area that we're pretty good in. My more concern would be, you know, losing 𝙈𝙊𝙍 or losing Ahmed at this point, rather than a centre back pairing. But yeah, I think that would be a great place for him. Ronaldo, what do you think?
Yeah, I like our depth. But once again, it's just a matter of these guys putting it together, man. Feel like we freeze up. We got that bottle element. We just lock up when we need to actually step up and perform. I'm excited to see what Heaven could bring. Honestly, maybe the Leicester game might be good for him. It could be a good start for him. What y'all think?
The comments. Sorry, I'm not looking at the comments.
Spurs can't be. I don't know about Everton. Maybe Ipswich, but
don't even look at Spurs.
No.
Spurs will show up against us.
Yeah. Well, we have them next weekend, so
yeah, they'll show up against us. It'll be us. They rebound and bounce back against. Watch.
Yeah.
Everton is on the bounce. They could do whatever. Ipswich could give us a hard time. Might not win against Arsenal. Leicester's, we could beat Leicester. Forest's gonna beat us. City's gonna beat us. Newcastle's gonna beat us. Wolves is a toss up. Bournemouth is gonna beat us.
Damn, think of what you said, Mikey. It's like if you need to bounce back, play Manchester United.
Yep.
Oh, you're on a slump.
Oh, yeah.
That's
every team. That's every team
at Old Trafford
anyway.
and beat us 3-0. You could save your season because we are there. We are there with legs open.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, no diddy on that one.
So Cheese is saying, is Rashford eligible to play against us? No, he's not. Imagine Rashford relegating us. Very Dennis Law of him. But no, yeah, he's not eligible to play against us. He's on a straight loan right now. So
checking into therapy if that happens.
Yeah.
Now, as to what you said, Mikey, earlier about, and you were mentioning it, Sean, about how City and all those other teams, the way they play, even though they're not having the best season, but just the ball stays on the ground, they're able to string together 4, 5, 6 passes. And with us, we don't see it. We see sometimes heavy touches, passes that are sometimes you need a little bit of finesse, and it's just too heavy of a ball. So it puts the player in a very compromising position or not receiving it with the correct foot. Is that something to do with the quality of the player now, or is that something now 𝙈𝙊𝙍 and his coaching staff can iron out with this team and these players?
I think that when the press is on, different players react to the situations differently, right? So, for example, this last game, right? There's a mild press going with that team, but it was triggered. It was like sometimes press in different aspects of the pitch, not as a team. Whereas most teams, well, in today's new football, City, right? They press in 7-second intervals. So they press 7 seconds if they can get the ball as soon as they lose it. And then if they can't get it, they go back and hold their shape. But they're all athletes out there that can do that for 90 minutes of a game. When we're pressed, it just seems like when players come up to play a man and we need to let the ball loose to go elsewhere, it just doesn't happen. And that just is down to quality and drilling, right? So it's a mixture of both things. We need to be well drilled when press situations happen to get the ball out quick. But also these guys have to have the quality to be able to maintain the press, maintain possession during the press, because it's going to happen. That's what we do in this is the new football now. It's not about having the ball and beating a man and doing it. You got to do that. But the new football is athletes pressing once you lose possession, and then being able to pass out of it, being press resistant. And the better teams are Liverpool, City, Arsenal. They're press resistant. Once they get the ball, they're well drilled with keeping it and moving it along, no matter what you do.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because these like the next question I was actually going to ask you, so it kind of went into it pretty well. Did you guys hear that Man United brought in 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀? Is a highly respected athletes coach in decathlon and heptathlon. I got that wrong, but Basically, he's here to teach them to run. What's your kind of thoughts on United bringing this in?
Teach them to run?
Well,
It's the
he's
first
an
I've heard of
he's
it.
an
Football is to
athletics coach.
run.
He's an athletics coach. So what he's doing is he's going to teach them the running. So having that ability to continuously run, and train them up to be kind of like decathlon level kind of runner. You know what I mean? Where they can go and go and go,
endurance.
rather than kind of, because he only came in like a couple of days ago.
Y'all think
I don't know. That sounds bad.
fitness? Y'all think fitness is our problem?
That sounds bad.
Like,
That sounds bad that we had to bring in a guy to tell professionals
Mhm.
how to be in shape. I know you have strength and conditioning coaches, right? And fitness coaches or whatnot, but like the fact that we felt the need to bring that in is kind of telling.
Yeah.
To where where these guys are. And yeah, Chi said who? Yeah, I didn't know that. Thanks for that bit of information, but that's very scary to think that Amram's like, nah, these guys are some hoes. They give up too easy.
Yeah,
I need
apparently
to it's gonna break them. But these are professionals paying the 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000 a week. These guys are making one guy's salary in a week. So you have to motivate them to run and have a lung that's better than mine. Okay.
I mean,
That's
besides
the first I've heard of that, Sean. Go ahead,
Besi-
Ronaldo. Sorry.
besides having like the technique, the quality, and the temperament to be able to pass the ball, with the right weight at the right time, beat the press. When you get tired, you make mistakes. So maybe they're onto something. Maybe, yeah. But then again, we're seeing mistakes in the 30th minute too. I mean, we can't be tired then.
Mark said it.
So it's a
We
little
don't
bit of
play
both.
90 minutes of ball. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure we do get tired at the end of the game, but we've seen these mistakes with the lack of quality in passes early in the first half in games. So it might be a little bit of both, which is scary.
yeah.
Maybe he's here to
is
help
scary, Sean.
them concentrate for 90 plus minutes. That's smart.
No, I
Yes.
think
You know
it's
what?
more
that's
to do
that's
with
temperament.
yeah.
That's
I think
temperament.
it's more to do with the fact that Amram, that these players, like, if we've honestly, we looked them over the last couple of years. A lot of times they don't run after the ball. They press for like Mikey says, they don't play more than 20 minutes a game. Maybe this is a good thing to bring him in to help deal with the constant press that he wants. Be able to help the wingers who are going to need to get up and down and up and down, to actually train these guys to be an athletics kind of, because if you look at Sporting, that's exactly what his players did. They just ran. They would just non-stop run. If you looked at the game against, I know we all watched it, the game against Sporting. The reason that I think they won most of that is they just would not stop running, and they ended up pressing City into a bunch of mistakes. So it can't be a bad thing because something's not working. So why not have a change and trying to get these players in better shape? So for me, I think it looks like it could be a good thing, but I'm not holding my breath with this group of players because
I mean,
we've
like,
had. Yeah, I was just
you're
saying
right.
we've had so many coaches, so many backroom staff, and nothing seems to work with these players. So I'm not holding my breath with it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I mean,
go
the
ahead.
number one thing, and sorry, the one just on that topic, the number one thing in football was to run, especially
Mhm.
almost in any sport. Football is run, 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 run. But maybe Ramarin's onto something. He In football, not everyone is running a full sprint all 90 minutes. So maybe there's moments where they can conserve energy that they're not doing so. And Amarim is seeing something within these players that at moments they can conserve energy so they can give all their energy in other moments. So maybe he's onto something with this. And that way, for the full 90 minutes, they're not just gassed. And like Amarim wants, he wants dogs, right? He wants dudes that are just running, 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 and are not tired at the end of the game. So could be onto something.
Yeah, I hope it works out, bro. Like I really do. I hope that he's right. It's just kind of concerning that we need to bring in a specialist for these guys to be running, these guys that are so paid. Like this is not like American football where you have certain positions that don't run as much as others, right? You have some guys that they just don't. that's unless you're the goalkeeper, you need to be in good cardiovascular health to be able to run long periods of time. So I hope it works, and anything to help this team. If they need a fucking psychologist, psychiatrist, any kind, we need to bring that too. Get the lady from Ted Lasso.
I'm big calling for her.
That's good.
Yeah, let's get Jamie Tartan. He can score some goals.
Well, he's at City already.
But yeah.
He's at Ipswich.
So yeah, for me, the next few games are kind of vital for Man United. I think this month we're going to have to pull out at least 6 to 9 points if we really want to consider ourselves safe towards the end of the season, because playing Newcastle, Wolves as bad as they are, they've always been a bogey team for Man United. Chelsea, they're so inconsistent. Villa, I think the West Ham, I think we can pull out a win against City, depending on how their new Rodri's going to play. Because Pep's not exactly a great coach, is he? Because end of the day, he needed to go splash 200 million to save his season, because he lost a player. So I think we can beat City. It doesn't look good that when you put it in that aspect of who we have left. That's just it's just for me. The next month is kind of vital to get some training in and get through to the end of the summer. So, anyone else that wants to add? I know we're at 11, but we don't have any time restrictions here anymore. Tuesday show. So does anyone want to add anything?
No, I mean, I'm not gonna be on Thursday, so I will just go ahead and give my score prediction for Friday.
Yep.
We got Leicester, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say we 3-0 Leicester.
3-0 Leicester.
Yeah, we're gonna 3-0 them.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna
The way you said it, 3-0 Leicester, I was like, whoa.
No, we're gonna 3-0 them, and then so this was gonna happen. We're gonna beat them, and then we'll start looking. I'm like, oh, well, we'll poke our heads out a little bit, and then Spurs on the next weekend after that, and then they'll hammer us, and then we'll get back to be like, what happened? Who is it? Our goalkeeper, that defense, that we need strikers, and then it just will start all over again. So I think we can handle Leicester. That won't be an issue, but it'll be everybody else afterwards.
I'm just gonna go ahead with it just in case something happens on Thursday. I'm gonna go ahead and say 2-1 to Leicester. 2-1 to Man United against Leicester. Oh, might do that. 2-1 to United. But I don't know. I just see us conceding. Real quick, do you think Dogu plays Friday?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I want to see. I don't see the point in waiting any longer. Let's see if we paid the money. Mm-hmm. Let's see if he can do something for us now.
Yeah, I just don't want a Ten Hag situation where he's not ready. The Ugarte situation, and everybody else that we signed just didn't play for 4 games because they needed a train. I hope he throws him in and gets them done. And the opposite to Luke Shaw, I hope he, even though he's in training, I hope he sits for the next few games. Really sorts that leg out, but I can't really see it. And if anyone else want to add their Oracle of the Week?
2-0 United. That's me. 2-0 United. I'm being hopeful. And Bayinder's going to start in this game, right?
Yeah, it looks like he will. Yeah.
There you go.
Hopefully.
He's going to be able to keep a clean sheet.
I'm going 3-2 United. I want to see a banger of a FA Cup game on a Friday afternoon. I think we deserve a game like that. It's due time we put up a crooked number on somebody.
Cheese is going 3-3 and 6-5
on a good Friday.
penalties.
Yeah,
I'll take that too. I'll take that result.
I don't want a heart attack again.
We
go out against Leicester. Can you imagine? The Amram out now with a lot of people. Can you imagine if we go out to Leicester in the FA Cup?
Let's not entertain Amram out on this show.
No, I'm not entertaining it. I'm just saying, like,
I want to
Shouts
hear.
to Mr. Green 22. Emery will play the kids of Emery will play the kids of
If.
good enough.
If
Okay.
good enough. I mean.
Quenda is proof as well as others at Sporting, if good enough. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, I mean, bro, I would like to see it. I thought there was a couple games in the season earlier that he could have played some of these guys. We had Leicester earlier. We played them twice in a row. We could have played some of these youngins now. So, I'm hoping to see them now. That's the only good thing about it. All we do is heart attack ball. No, all we do is 30 minutes of football and then go up and then concede, and then now it looks crazy, or concede early. That's our two things. It's give up a lead or concede early and drop our heads. We've still yet to have played a full 90 minutes of football uninterrupted, unabashed. We don't do that. Name one. Maybe we had one game like that. I can't think about it though. 90 minutes of just us on the ball, us kicking ass for 90 minutes. Hasn't happened yet.
That would. I
think teams have that.
I think the closest we came was the Leicester game. Yep. With Rude in charge.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I think that was the last time we kind of dominated for at least 75 minutes.
Look, bottom of the league, Southampton. It took us 85 minutes to get into that game.
Yeah.
Hey, they're a tough.
Yes.
Tough.
Oh my
tough
God.
team with how many games have they won? 2.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Mr. Green, I agree. The rest of the season should be for the youth. Collier showed he belongs with the first team. I agree. I would go ahead and put 𝗕𝗓 up front on Friday. I really would. The FA Cup game.
Tearing it up, right? He's been playing with the first team.
He's been training with the first team. I would go ahead and put him in. And for me, it's one of those games where if not playing well, you bring him off. And if he's not good enough and he's not ready, well, not necessarily good enough, if he's not ready for this, because they're a Premier League team, then send him back down for a little while. I don't see what the problem is, and it can't be any worse than what we currently have up front. So I don't understand why he's not doing it. It's infuriating me, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's a free hit. It's a free hit.
Listen,
the Premier League's a write-off. It's a write-off season now.
Mm-hmm.
Our main objective needs to be in these cup competitions. So knockout football is what we're looking forward to in Europa, and then we still got a couple more rounds of FA Cup. You win the FA Cup again in your first season, all right, cool. Or you win Europa in your first season, cool. We get European football, which we get the money from it. It's all, we become desirable again, and now we can spend money and then hopefully get rid of some guys. That just starts the train for some good stuff to start happening. But it's on us to, and I would say us, not me. Thank God it's not on me. But it's on these guys to show that they could take us to the next level.
Yeah, I forgot. Well, I didn't realize. I did realize. I just forgot because we haven't been in it for so long and done well. That Villa got 10 million just for going through to the next round of the Champions League. 10 million just for going through.
And just imagine how much that helped them.
Yeah, it helped them get Rashford.
Really been mid-table, not good enough. Now, just as the last 3 or 4 years, they've been in and around the conversation of getting European football, top 4, getting up there. Like at one point in time, they were close to top of the league. Like that's crazy.
It's insane. Mr. Green saying Højlund is a very poor signing, very low strike IQ, always runs in a straight line, hides behind defenders, never comes back to the ball to hold.
People are talking now. It's coming out.
Keep him reading.
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green got a Højlund vendetta. Listen, I like Højlund, but he hasn't said one wrong. I don't think he's a poor signing, but he hasn't said one wrong thing there. He does all of those things.
Yeah.
He has no kind of techers with the ball, like no wiggle. He cannot beat a man just like when he gets it. It's either he runs past you, through you, or then loses the ball. That's it. There's no kind of technique or wiggle or nothing.
I would say probably the only thing you're missing there, Mr. Green, is he can't head the ball. He cannot head
Yeah.
a freaking football. It's insane. You can tell because he likes to lie down rather than going up for the jump.
Mhm.
He just won't head it. And name what? I don't think he scored a goal with his head at Man United. I know he's hit the post. He hit the crossbar with his head.
I remember he scored one with his chest one time.
Yeah, for being a tall guy, that's true. Doesn't have an aerial game. He needs to add like
aerial goal. Yeah.
he needs to add some finesse to his game because it looks like he just wants to run through brick walls, and it's not working for him. So add some finesse to your game.
No wiggle.
It kind of
Get a little change up in there.
when he hits the ball, it reminds me of that Tottenham guy that knocked himself out. He just goes for the ball, and does this and misses the ball.
That's uncool. He hit the ground.
It's
really
so
hard.
bad when he tries to head it. Like the Tottenham player literally knocked himself out. Dang.
Hey man, you gotta break a nose to get that goal, man. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what was it Ollie that said that? He wanted strikers that will break their nose in front of goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I need. Go
Yeah,
ahead and knock yourself out.
Yeah, that's Victor Osman. He will put his entire body. And that's gonna be tough in the summer. Who do we go? Is it Osman? Is it Bucharest? They're both. How old is Osman?
27.
So they're both around 27. So I know
27.
Gukres
They're
is
the same age.
So I think Osimhen is in at 26.
He's 26.
27.
I think Gukres is around 27. But they were in their prime. That's not. I would go for both of those at a particular point. Mr. Green, who would you go for as a striker?
Yeah, Osimhen is 26 years old. He just
26.
turned 26.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's entering his prime. Yeah, you know,
Prime years, man.
Gukres is 27.
And he has a little height. He's 6'1".
the only thing
like,
that concerns me with
Osimhen
Osman
is
deal
6'1".
is we play hardball with the Garnacho deal. Now we know Napoli are going to play hardball with us back. That's the only thing that concerns me. And then Gukres, that's going to be a tough set trying to get him from Sporting.
I don't know. I know this is like make believe, but would you do a swap Garnacho for Osimhen if Napoli is able to play ball with that?
Yes, I would swap Garnacho for Osman. Yeah, every day.
They would be on the losing end of the deal.
I mean, they're getting a younger player, and Conte really wants this guy. He rates him. So
I think Osman's a better player. They do play two different positions, but I feel like man for man, Osman might be the better player, right? He's older and he has more experience, and he's won things at Napoli now, right?
He's
He brought them to 30.
Absolutely.
He brought them to a title after 30 years of not having it, or 25 years or something like that. So I think we would be making out the better if we just did a straight swap. But they just got rid of their boy Kārīča.
PSG, yeah.
They just got rid of him. So they might need to reinforce that wing, bring it, because he plays off on the left side for them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. He plays on the left.
So they might need to reinforce that, and they might be looking to go younger with a Garnacho who's not necessarily terrible and can still learn.
So Mr. Green saying Gukres fits the Premier League better. And is it any coincidence?
In the Premier League already.
Yeah. And is it any coincidence that Man United's last 3 Italian league signings of all kind of failed? Premier League is a different level.
Wait, who?
Who's the failures? The last 3?
Højlund, Zerski.
Ahmad.
I don't think he was last 3 though.
Ahmad came in from
Atalanta.
So he said the last 3. Okay.
Yeah, the last 3. Yeah.
Who's the other? Who was the
other one?
Not Lukaku. Lukaku is that he played years in England.
I'm trying to remember who the hell's the other who came from Italy.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I could think of is the
one
that
Mr. Green.
mentioned, Ahmad.
The Premier League is a different level. Oh, Onana. Yeah. True.
I wouldn't say Onana's a failure yet. I wouldn't say Onana's a failure yet.
Quick shout out to Brian Herbertson.
What's up, Brian?
Welcome into the chat. Pogba. Great question.
Pogba won a European title here. I don't know if the rest of these guys haven't won anything.
I think he might be asking.
Both of those finals he won trophies in too.
A good backup for Firmino. Yeah.
Are you asking the question? Pogba find him till the end of the summer, or are you asking?
No, he's asking in reference to our last question that Mr. Green asked.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. He came from Juve, so but you got to remember he did start. He did start at Man United first.
Yeah.
He was.
I don't think Pogba was a failure. It was a disappointment, but not a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
We had the best we've ever placed in the Premier League since, and
Was
most
Paul
important
Pogba was
title.
on side.
He's a part of both of those teams.
The last time we looked like a functioning offense,
The
Paul
last
Pogba
time
was
we
on the
had
side.
Come
Yo,
on, guys.
100%.
I got to say this real quick though.
100%.
I
Those were
give
the good old
Liverpool
days.
fans shit for
Yeah.
winning the league during the during COVID. I'm not going to go ahead and say, hey, give ourselves congratulations. We second year.
Oh, we
I literally give Liverpool shit. And we remember we also give Casey shit for Lakers winning it that year too.
I don't. I
Whoa.
think winning a championship in any situation is.
Bro.
I think it's very hard to do. I don't. It's a very
That
hard
was a
thing to do.
hard. That was a hard championship, man.
I
In
don't
the
care
COVID.
if there's people in the stands or not. This shit is very hard to do.
Yeah.
Either way, especially at this level, like I give them props.
Yeah, I just give crap.
I think Pogba was just disappointing because we weren't able to squeeze all that talent out of him, or he wasn't able to get all the talent out of him. You saw it, but it just wasn't consistent enough.
It was like a career of thirds. He was a third amazing, a third injured, and a third inconsistent. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Perfectly put.
So much skill, but no effort at United. But with France, beautiful. Yeah, agree.
France had 10 other
He's
beautiful
playing with
footballers around him.
world-class football players at the moment
Exactly.
at France.
Yeah. Would
That's
you?
like a
Here's a
golden
question:
generation
would
of
you
France.
bring him back till the end of the season?
Oh, 100%.
Why not?
Pogba?
100%.
Why not?
100.
But
Because like
you
now
know they
it's
say
like
third time's a charm.
the
Maybe we
gloves
could
are
teach him how
all,
to
like,
pass. You could
you
probably
know
teach
what
him how to
people are
pass.
saying. You know what you know, like this is your chance to redeem yourself and redeem it at a club. You know, Rio was telling them like, "Hey man, come on back. You could do something in Amorim system."
I'm trained.
My problem would be is his legs. Like, does he have the legs to get back?
Yeah.
And I don't think he has the legs to get back.
Yeah, but you play him as a
Hypothetically
10.
speaking, which position would he play?
10.
He had to play in the 10.
He would have to play in
Let me go ahead and get out on a limb here. He got played out of position his entire time at Man United because he's
That's
not.
true.
He is a 10. He's not a 6, an 8, or none of that crazy shit. All these coaches tried to make him play 100%. He was a 10. And Bruno came and it wasn't gonna happen anymore. But at that point, he was already 2 years like, bro, I want to leave. Nothing's happening with this club. He's another one like Ronaldo that said, this ain't it. Nobody's gonna be successful here. These guys suck. And he said that, and it was like, fuck you. And it's like,
We ain't selling you.
but now we're all saying they suck.
Yeah, I am definitely on that line where sometimes I say it sucked, but for me, it's you're
Not
right.
him,
He
the
was played
players.
out of position. Scott McTominay was played out of position too. I'm not gonna say he would have been be all and end all like he is in Italy right now, but to be fair to him, he was played out of position a lot. At Man United, he was asked to play in that CDM role next to Fred. So when players are played out of position, you can't expect the best out of them. And that's what we're looking at right now with our wing back. They're not wing backs. We can clearly see it at Manchester United. Anything else you guys want to add? I want to shout out to Mr. Green and Brian for popping in, first time chatters.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
you.
fellas.
Brian's been here
Stuff,
before.
fellas.
Brian's part of the LA group.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Well, I've never seen him in the chat, so I do appreciate you popping in. So, and then Mr. Green also. Anything else you guys want to add?
Nah, man.
No.
No.
Shouts to everybody. Oh,
I'd like to win 3
Barry.
games in a row.
Shouts to my boy Barry buying us our new flag. Shouts to everybody in Munich. I think if I can make it here from Munich, I'm gonna definitely drop a video for our Munich just to show when we went there and just the history behind it and all that stuff. So I will be dropping it on this channel so that way everybody can see it from here. Cheers to you, Mr. Green. And yeah, shouts to everybody in Munich right now, bro. If you ever get a chance, that is a time. That is an absolute time. All night. I know they're going up right now. They started right now. So yeah, shouts to all the Reds in Munich. Shouts to Bayern Munich for taking care of the memorial, and we'll see you Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see you Thursday. And Peace out, everyone. If you haven't, real quick, please hit the like button. Please hit the follow button. Everything does help with the algorithm. And we will see you guys on Thursday. Peace out.
Yes.
Up the red. See you later,
Peace.
guys.